So in this demo I want to show kind of a landscape with maybe the elements that I'm using is mountain. Start from here, and the majority of my painting will be the mountain, showing the mountain there, and there is a green space in this area with trees, lots of trees here, and these will be dark trees, so I mean, and but with different sizes, and that will be helpful. And these are the bunch of trees this area, and again same thing maybe happens here. So you know that the way that I'm sketching is almost like telling a story to myself, and try to figure it out what's the elements are in my story, and what's the so there are trees here. I would like to show maybe tree with the small houses, yeah, I can show small houses here, and again some trees in this area. I would like to show very dark greens in here, and I think that's it. So, or maybe a walk, yeah, a walkway to these houses maybe, or maybe yeah, this walkway is better like this. So it gives me this area, so I think it is better, yeah. So it divides my painting here will be the main part, here is another part, here is the mountain part, and that's the sky. Oh, okay, so I like it. Let's go. So in this case, maybe I will show some, maybe 2 or 3 houses here, and let's see. I'm not sure if let's add a house in this part as well. So there are 2, yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's go for the paint. So based on my value sketch, I have this mountain here, the form like this, and I'm trying to show a couple of houses here, maybe in different levels, and trees on top of them, and 2 or 3 houses again here. Maybe these guys will be smaller, and again 3 part there. I would like to show a path area, yeah, I think it's, and trees, maybe during yeah, trees in this area, and different shape of trees here. So that will be my goal in this painting. So maybe I can add yeah, I will add more. I mean, I need more space for the mountain in this area, so maybe that would be helpful to show there. Okay, so again I start from sky part, I mean the top part of the painting, try to make it wet, and use blue for the sky. Yep. And for the mountain I'm trying to use blue color. And yeah, that will be helpful. Maybe I can show snow on the mountain here. And since the front part is mostly green, so I start from the light green and yeah, always start in watercolor. It's always better to start from light colors to dark color. So and I would like to show the pathway. I want to keep the white area of the space, so yeah, I keep it white. I don't need to add color in it. So now I go for the dark green, which is mostly on top of the houses or around the houses actually. So that will be my next step here. So those trees actually show the shape of by adding these dark around the house, I can define this house better. Yeah, in the green area, I think we need always, there is always shadows there, so, and those shadows follows the form of the mountain, or because they already are in the mountain, so we have to follow the shape of the mountain and put it there. So now the painting is dry, and I think it's time to show the background and maybe add some details. So in this case I'm trying to define the mountain in the background and make it darker to get the better shapes of the trees and also the houses. So let's make the color for the mountains, and so the technique will be wet on dry. So the surface is dry and we are using the paint which has a enough water, not a lot of water, and it gives us a kind of wet on dry effect on the watercolor. When we want to use a dark background, we have to think about two items at the same time. One is the form and the shape that we are painting as a mountain here, and for example, for in this painting as a mountain, and plus the shapes that we want to define by putting the dark paints, which in this painting is the tree. So there are two items that we are showing when we are painting the background part of the painting, and that's a kind of maybe is a kind of challenge, but it's fascinating when we get the result. So you can see how it's different than, before we had the dark value on the background. We couldn't identify which subject is in front of us and which one is the far from us. I'm adding some dark greens on the mountain, so it gives us a kind of variety of dark and light paints on the background. Also, by adding some dark values on the trees, we can get the better shape of the tree, and it gives us a kind of real, kind of 3D form of the tree. And as I told you, it's always better to follow the form of the object that we are painting with the brush. So if you are painting a mountain, it's better to see what's the direction of the form and use the brush based on the those directions. Yeah, so these dark value in the front of the painting gives us a kind of definition, better definition of the green spaces closer to us. And that's another rule of painting. I mean, rule of watercolor painting. The more objects are closer to us, they would be more detail and dark value on those objects. By adding a kind of sharp colors like blue or red on the houses far, so we can make them a kind of spotlights on the painting. And by adding those final touches, I think the painting will be complete, and we don't need to work more on it. So I'm hoping this kind of demos actually gives us a brief understanding of the process of painting in watercolor in a simpler way. And I know that maybe it's difficult when you're starting the painting, but after a while, if it gives you a kind of mindset of how to paint a landscape with watercolor by not going too much to details. Feel free to ask me if you have any concern, and I try to illustrate more demos to make it clear for you guys.